Hello and welcome to AmassGames. Today I'm bringing you 100 to 91 in my opinion is the best board games of all times. This has been a countdown from the top 250 board games, having played over 1650 and counting. Many more to come, even more this year. There's another at least 50 games I'll be playing, and that's just for my personal collection. So, take it away. These include promos and expansions, because sometimes games are better that way. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already to ensure you're catching the rest of the videos. Hit the notification bell, hit the like button, add a comment, I'll reply, and check out the description as well. So this game is another game designed by Matthias Kramer. It's also the artist being Michael Menzel, who is the best of all time. Lovely looking Scarlett Johansson over here. And this is a Euro game, as you can probably tell from Matthias Kramer. I'll go into him in a moment. And this has been implemented. You have the deluxe edition. It's a very interesting game set in a palace whereby you're looking to clothe these courtiers. You're looking to basically get to certain places first. And there's some deck pool building and various other really key, cool elements that make this game a top 100 game. I'm just going to load up some of these pictures to show it to you. And so this game obviously is now 8 years of age. It's 2021 when I'm recording this. And you can have a board like this and you're trying to go to various different locations. I haven't played it too much, but as you can see over here, there's various things that you can try and complete with and try and get various abilities. And in this instance, you're trying to eventually get up onto the roof and set off some fireworks and get some bonus points. So you can work on various different rooms. You're competing with others to try and get there first and try and second guess them. And if you're the first or second in various different rooms, you'll get a bonus. So very interesting game. Like I said, I haven't played it too much. Very keen to play it again. And interestingly, depending on the player count, you also have various things here as well, various different modular things that can vary things up a bit. So that's Rococo. And there's Matthias Kramer. As I said, he's made numerous games. I haven't played Watergate, which he's done quite recently. Interestingly, that's over here by Frosted Games. And like I said, I've been appreciating his other game, Quaff Dragon, as an example, and even Glen Moore. So that is Watergate. Like I said, something I'm really keen still to play. And on to the next one. So Viva Topo, also known as Viva Mouse, amongst many other names. This is the Pegasus Spiele edition I've got on the channel. You can search AmassGames YouTube and type in Viva Mouse or Viva Topo, and you'll find what I think of the game. So this is a lovely kids game that involves pieces of cheese, and let's just show you this picture here. And what you're looking to do is a lovely cat in the way here. You're going to have these various little mice. Choose one of your respective colour. You're going to be starting, and ultimately you're going to be going around the board, rolling this die here to decide where exactly you'll be landing. And at some points you can choose to come off and grab some cheese. Now, if you drop one of your mice off there, you're going to get whatever cheese is there, and ultimately the person who has the most wins. What the issue is here is as you're going around, if this cat catches up with you, and currently this cat is not visible apart from this chap here, which I'll come back on to showing other pictures of, then of course you might end up having your mouse get eaten because you've gone further and further and further until eventually you get the plate which has got the big wheel of cheese, which has got 6 in it as opposed to 3, 1 or 2. So if you can get all the way and home again, which is this location here, so you're going to come out, go around and get in again. First person to get there is going to get 6, and anyone else gets it 2. You have multiple people get it. But what happens is the cat, as it rolls 1 in 6 chance of getting, each time it goes round, it's going to start going around each space once, and then it doubles. So just as you're moving, you have 4 pieces to move, it has 1. And that's whereby the game gets very, very interesting. So that has been Viva Topo, or Viva Mouse. Very clever kids game. And yes, it has been nominated for numerous things. It was the Kinderspiel, or the Children's Spiel des Jahres Game of the Year in 2003, which is basically the most important game of the year. That is my video here that you can see. And obviously that's a number of months ago, and obviously there's an unboxing too, and someone's given a thumbs up. Very kind of them. So like I say, very cool game, loads of silica pieces to keep it nice and fresh. And on to the next game. Nice pure Euro game here. Works very well on Board Game Arena, which came out recently. Another bit of artwork by Dennis Lockhausen. We have the fantastic Italian designers here, Simeone Lajani and Daniele Tascini. These guys have worked on Sulkin, I believe. And this is another fantastic game that they've put out. This is where you're moving around a board, and it's a modular board. You can choose your different powers, lots of discussion on this. And you can choose to roll your dice. They're reading to their dice. And in this instance, you're going to be going out and able to choose various different things. In this instance, you could start off here and move your way down here if you get enough camels and whatnot. You could be trying to get camels, trying to get different resources. Depending on the resources you get, what it allows you to do is actually decide, right, well, I actually want to spend my dice to do various different things, and you're going to complete various objectives. So based on your playing power, it depends what you want to go for. You can try to complete contracts, your various resources you can collect. You try to get to various destinations, as various destinations will give you bonus points too. Lots to discuss, very quick overview there, and it's come out now as a sequel, which is a less tight game. It's a very tight game. There's only 30 moves in this game, and that is Marco Polo 2. Up next, Dixits. This is a party game, a conceptual party game. They put the C in the word conceptual here, and yes, I've mentioned this game before. Very clever game, really, really strong ideas. It won Game of the Year, and in this instance, you've got to try and, oh my goodness, try to consider of various different cards. Let's have a look what cards they've got here. First of all, a man, I don't know, doves or something like that. And you're trying to decide, okay, I place my card in here, which might be the man, and the clue could be something like, I don't know, lonely. They see this, and then they might see, I don't know, another man who's lonely and stuff like that. So you're trying to get everybody to kind of guess your card apart from one person, and then you'll get the best score. And you're going to try and go up this track. That track is different to other particular tracks out there because of the version I have, and that's just how it is. I have the Lillibud edition, whereby actually the score track is on the inside of the game board. And it seems to be that very few people have it. So if we go back to the video section, and depending on when my video was uploaded, you will find my video too. There it is, and there's that track. So please head over to AmassGames and YouTube and happen to look up this particular video, and you can see that people have been enjoying it. Oh, look at that, even the Lillibud team as well. Well, I've come back to those guys. Right, okay, on to the next game in this series. And it is an expansion for Pandemic. This allows you to have a fifth virus, a fifth thing to deal with. It also has a bioterrorist, which I haven't played with yet. And it also becomes very unpredictable. So we've talked about the various things here, fifth disease, bioterrorist I haven't played yet. But yeah, really like this game, very keen to play more of it. And it's one of the best expansions out there for Pandemic. Not much more to say than that. It's Pandemic, gives you a bit more stuff to do, and a huge amount of fun. I know someone who played Bioterrorist, and I happened to, annoyingly, shall we say, play a different game. I just happened to just pick something else. And yeah, it's lovely pieces. It can permanently change your board because it sticks on a special thing. And yeah, really cool. Highly recommend it if you're up for playing Pandemic. Up next, we have another expansion. This is for Power Grid. Power Grid is currently, I think, the 13th highest rated game on Board Game Geek. And in this instance, I can go in there to double check what it's like presently. Brazil is on one side. I have played the Brazil side. It is basically has different maps, different strategies, because ultimately, if you can start blocking somebody off, then you're going to make sure that they have to pay more resources. So if I go down, I don't know, if somebody goes down here, over in Cardiff, which is basically how you pronounce it, like the Welsh capital, and I go around here, they've got to pay to go past my location. So that's very, very interesting because you're blocking somebody off. Now you can do that in other obviously power grids, but this in particular instance is important because ultimately you don't want a really good player to do that. So as long as you have new players, that's what I might recommend. But blocking, using resources, using those abilities to do well is very important to manage, obviously, what is there. Very clever game. Another game on this list by Freedom and Freeze. Names begin with F, his games begin with F because it's in German Funkenschlag, and also in green because he likes to have green hair, so he makes his hair green. So this is Power Grid, and as it stands, it's now 38th, so it's dropped a bit. But for games from 2004, I think it's the highest rated game from 2004 in this list. And just as everyone's curious whether that's the case, let me go ahead and do the honours and actually figure that out. 2304. And it is the highest one. It's the only game, in fact, in the top 100. As you can see, I've played the vast majority of these games. There's fewer than 10 I've yet to play. I've played Legacy, which is kind of the same as that. The same guy who is on the brink actually has Barrage, and I missed the opportunity to play that too. I played something else instead, and yeah, keen to try out the Legacy edition of Clank. Who Did It? A lovely party game again, very clever, involving dexterity and memory, but it's not how you think. It's the almost inverse. Very clever game. It's sold out really, really strongly. It doesn't seem to have that many ratings. So let's go into stats. So basically, you're saying who did the poo, and you are basically representing these animals, and you're saying I didn't do the poo. It was the parrot that did the poo, and somebody else plays a different card until eventually you've got no cards left. The downside is you've kind of got to remember what you've played out, because if you're going to try and play out another card again, then you're going to get caught and you have to pick up what you've been playing. So you've got to be very cautious as to what's been played, because you don't want to be playing a card that someone's already played. Didn't give that justice how to explain it, but all I can say is it's phenomenal. It's really good. Get rid of your cards, blame everyone else, and make sure it wasn't your animal that did the poop. SPIEL.digital recommended. Not surprised whatsoever. Like I said, I thought it was really clever, this game, and it's you can have different variants like over here. I don't know, I didn't do a video myself, but Asmodee did lend me a copy, thankfully, for a week. So very much enjoyed this game, and it's done very well. Let's look into all-time plays. Yes, it's had quite a lot. I mean, I've had 12. Maybe I'm going to be on the front page. Maybe not. No, some people love it. Yep, just make it on. Great. On to the next game. So we have up next. These were the games actually that were SPIEL.digital's recommended. So Dizzle, I highly rate. Reef, I didn't rate. Sherlock, Death on the 4th of July, and Last Call. Played those. I played all of these. In fact, I played nearly all of these games. I played all of these games. Imhotep didn't come out in 2019. Bellarati. I'm actually trying to work out what on earth won that year. So let's go to SPIEL.digital's and just have a look. And I think it'll probably actually tell us who actually even won it. So if we go to this, I know I'm going for a tangent here to bring this up. We can probably go to the most recent page. Just One, which at the time I definitely agreed with. I played ahead of release. So if we go here, we could probably see what else was nominated. And Just One was the winner. Interesting. Okay, well, away from that, there's Imhotep. Yeah, it came out a few years prior. And this one I haven't played, I haven't even heard of this game, so we're just discovering new things. And on we go. So Concordia. Now, Mac, as it likes to be called, has sent me a message. She was going to send me the Greek map, I think it was. So this is a very interesting game. It's a Euro-driven game. Another, I believe, German designer. And very much a Euro-feel game. You have a tight resource, you have a map. I do like route movement building games. And you're trying to collect various things. A big part of the game is getting cards, which I tend not to do and then lose. And not actually the cards, just lose the game. And it was nominated strongly for Kinderspiel Game of the Year. Didn't win it that particular year. And yes, you're bidding, there's a bit of auction going on. You're looking to go to these various map locations and try to get out from their starting locations, out from Rome, and obviously do a great job of obviously getting points, which can come from a multitude of ways, such as these cards. You might have Nero, and you can choose to go out by foot, should we say, or by boat, and claim these places first. And ultimately, you're trying to do that competitively compared to other people. So this is the chap, and I believe, yes, he is indeed from Germany. He's played a number of other games. Unfortunately, I haven't played those, or not many of them. And yeah, there it is indeed, Concordia, Istanbul, and Rococo. We've just talked about Rococo. Istanbul actually happened to win it, I believe, that particular year. As, yeah, there it is. And I played Camel Up as well. On to Anomia. This is a Mensa winning game. It's a very clever game that I think I'm not exactly done with it. I really did enjoy it. Having said that, a bit like another game I've mentioned already, when you're patting your head and you're choosing to think, shall I do this or shall I do that? It's a game that you kind of just fall into the zone of. As an example, and this is why I think it's so clever, you're going to have a card like this, and you're trying to play a similar like cards potentially. So you might play this traffic sign, and then you're trying to say, right, okay, and then you're matching the colours. But the thing is, you need to say something maybe on the card. So it could be like, you say blue, and then obviously you need to say something respective to it. And again, I do need to kind of give you an example of what's going on here. Does the symbol on the card match one of another player's card? If it does, you must quickly face off by giving an example of the place, the person, or the thing on their card before they do the same to yours. So going back to this colour thing, I'll show you as an example. It's a lot harder than it sounds like. because give an example of frozen food or dog breed, but you'll find it works very differently. It's a very, very peculiar game. It's very clever how it's worked. So yes, if I play colour and they play traffic sign, or they play traffic sign, I play traffic sign, they play colour, I would say blue, and I'd get it because I've done the thing correctly. There we go. Confusing, but fun and mind-bending. Up next, Western Legends. I think it's the last game in this series for today, and again, please check out the playlist, the top 250 games of all time. Lovely playlist I put together. Hope you enjoy it. There will be more. And this is an open world sandbox Western game whereby there's loads of little mini games, you can do loads of different things, and ultimately you're trying to be the best person on this fantastic looking board. I think probably the best board I've ever seen in any game. It just looks like actually unbelievable. It just looks like a leather map. And you're going to start off, you can go to these various locations, you could rob a bank, in which case you become a wanted person, but you should be good, and therefore you're trying to catch a wanted person. You could try and get glory and victory points by delivering some gold, by rustling some cattle. You could play some poker, you could try to win some cards, and your cards that you play have different things you can do with them too. So you could use the topmost ability, the leftmost ability, and I've also played an expansion. I haven't played at the lower player counts, unfortunately, but here are these decks of cards, here are these cards that you can have, and ultimately you're going to have different kind of symbols, different things you can buy. You can get a pony, you could get yourself a Winchester gun, and if we can bring up certainly a picture involving the playing cards, which something like this might well have, I'm hoping to show you, then yes, of course, you could have a better ability at playing. So let's see if we can zoom in on someone's hand. Unfortunately, it's not very clear because most of the time you keep your hand hidden. The characters look great. I've not seen anyone actually painting them yet. Definitely not essential. Here is one whereby, excellent. So you can have a value here. So you can play as it is, just to gain $30, or you could actually use the value to play poker and try and get, a straight or something like that. So thank you very much for watching. That was been great fun, and I look forward to bringing you the next one very soon. Plus more games in the pipeline. I'm going to be getting 300 Earth and Fire. That's a bonsai game, amongst many others, potentially Mini Rogue and others. So I look forward to bringing them ASAP, as well as Promoted, which is the Good Cop, Bad Cop expansion. All the best. Thank you very much. Bye for now.